Okay, so you know what I want to talk about? All right, hold on, with the music, hold on. Okay, so like I want to talk about RV living, and I want to talk about like rather than not, you feel like RV living is basically like like the gateway drug to like homelessness and stuff like that. And I think like I think that it's always a problem to have people like try to be more content with less. So like I feel like that's an issue. You know what America loves to do? Take a crisis, throw a filter on it, add some fairy lights, and call it freedom. And right now, one of the clearest examples is van life because online, van life looks beautiful. It's the sunset over the desert, the cute little mattress in the back, the French press on the fold out table, the caption about quitting the rat race and choosing peace. And listen, for some people, that is exactly what it is. Some folks choose van life. They have savings, they have remote jobs, they have family they can call if the transmission goes out. They are chasing adventure, simplicity, a different kind of life. But that's not who I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the people who did not choose the road. I'm talking about the people who ended up in a van, a car, an RV, or a beat up sedan because rent got too high, wages stayed too low, and the safety net had holes in it big enough to drive through. So the question is this: is van life the gateway to homelessness? And my answer is this: van life might not be the gateway, but housing unaffordability is. The van is just where the crisis becomes visible, okay? There are two versions of van life in America. One version is marketable, it has soft music, drone footage, matching mugs, and a sponsorship from some portable power station company, okay? It looks like freedom. Then there's the other version. The version where someone is sleeping in a Walmart parking lot because they cannot afford this month's rent. Or they can't afford first month's rent, last month's rent, a security deposit, application fees, pet fees, parking fees, and whatever other fees landlords invented after breakfast. And the version where a mother parks near a gym so her kids can shower there before school is not cute. The version where a senior on a fixed income is living in an RV that breaks down every other month is not cute. Okay, the version where someone works full time, wears a uniform, clocks in, smiles at customers, touches your food, and still sleeps in their car at night. Same vehicle. Completely different reality. And America knows the difference. It just pretends not to because when someone with money lives in a van, America calls them adventurous. When someone without money lives in a van, America calls them a problem. Same parking lot, different politics. Now let's be clear. A vehicle can offer temporary safety. It has locks, it moves, it keeps rain off your face, it can protect you from some of the dangers of sleeping outside. For a lot of people, that vehicle is not nothing. It may be the last piece of privacy they have. But let's not confuse privacy with stability. A car is not stable housing. A van is not affordable housing. An RV is not a long-term housing policy because one parking ticket can become a crisis. One tow can take away your shelter, your belongings, your documents, your medicine, your clothes, your whole life. A broken alternator can turn your home into debt. A city ordinance can make you illegal for simply trying to get some sleep. And that is the trap. The van may keep you off the sidewalk, but it does not necessarily keep you out of homelessness. Sometimes it just delays the moment when the system finally admits that it failed you. All right. And now I'm not here to shame people who genuinely choose van life. Okay. If you sold your condo, bought a Sprinter van, and decided to chase sunsets from Joshua Tree to Portland, I love that for you. Please send photos. But we have to stop letting curated freedom cover up forced instability because the version of van life that goes viral is usually the version with resources behind it. It is sponsored, it is aesthetic, it is edited, it has backup plans. But the version of van life happening in the shadows, that version is exhausted. That version is trying to find a safe place to park without being harassed. The version is deciding whether to spend money on gas, food, repairs, medication, or a P.O. box. That version is invisible. We need to start talking about them. If it is you, make some noise. Drop in the hashtag housing in America. We want to talk to you. We want to connect you with organizations in your area that are doing the work to not only raise awareness to this issue, but put people in homes, because it's going to take all hands on deck. And so when people say, why don't they just get help? You got to be honest, right? Get help from where? A shelter that's full, a housing list that takes years, a job that pays less than the rent, a city that spends more money moving people around than actually housing them. Come on now. We are too grown to keep pretending this is about individual failure. This is structural, this is economic, this is political, and yes, this is racial. Housing insecurity does not hit everyone equally. Black people, brown people, queer and trans people, disabled people, formerly incarcerated people, young people aging out of systems, elders on fixed incomes, people escaping domestic violence. The list goes on. These communities are already dealing with discrimination in housing, employment, policing, healthcare. When the rent goes up, they're not able to just adjust, right? They get pushed, they get displaced, they get told to move further out, then punished when they cannot afford the transportation to get back in. They get priced out of neighborhoods they help build. They get told the city is revitalizing, but somehow they are not invited to the revival. And when they end up in a vehicle, people want to act confused. But I don't understand, because there's nothing confusing about it. This is what happens when housing becomes a luxury product instead of a human need. Now, some cities have tried some safe parking programs. And let me say this clearly, safe parking programs can help. It's a start. What these are designated lots, bathrooms, security, trash service, access to case management, connections to housing resources, and all of that does matter, okay? But it is better than making people hide in unsafe places. It is better than ticketing people into deeper poverty. It is also better than pretending people will disappear if you move them just from one block to the next one. But safe parking is not a destination. It's harm reduction. And harm reduction is important, but it's not the same as justice. A safe parking lot can help someone survive the night. Affordable housing can help someone rebuild their life. And so we need both. But we should never pretend that they are equal, because nobody's long-term housing plan should be find a legal place to sleep in your car. That is not policy. That is surrender with signage. So, is van life the gateway to homelessness? No. The real gateway is unaffordable rent. The real gateway is low wages. The real gateway is eviction. The real gateway is medical debt. The real gateway is gentrification. The real gateway is family rejection. The real gateway is criminal records that follow people everywhere. The real gateway is landlords denying applicants for being poor, black, queer, disabled, young, old, or previously unhoused. There are just so many reasons that they do it, and it affects everybody. Now, the real gateway is a country where people can work full time and still not afford a place to sleep. So this is the gateway to homelessness. The van itself is not the gateway, but it is a warning light on the dashboard. All right. Here at Icon City, and on the commentary, we are solution-oriented people, are we not? Okay, so what do we do? First, we want to stop criminalizing people for surviving. Tickets and towing do not solve homelessness. They make it worse. Second, we want to expand safe parking programs, but connect them directly to real housing pathways. But when people are living in vehicles because they have no other safe option, that is not freedom. That is abandonment. That is policy failure. So the next time you see a Dreamy Van Life video, go ahead and appreciate the sunset, but ask the deeper question: did they choose the road, or did the rent choose it for them? Because there's a difference between opting out of the system and being pushed out of it. And until the country decides housing is a human right, not a luxury brand, more and more people will find themselves living in cars, vans, RVs, and whatever else they can lock from the inside. This has been The Commentary with Anya Elite. And remember, if the only housing someone can afford has wheels, the problem is not their lifestyle. The problem is the system that drove them there.
Fun fact, every time someone hires Icon City for branding, events, or strategy, they're also helping fund independent journalism on iconcitynews.com. So next time you're in the market for project management or entrepreneurial support, know that your successes fuel our stories. So if you're building something that matters, let's build it with meaning. iconcity.org